Welcome to our online Year 7 2021 Parent Information Session. Apologies we cannot do this face to face as we had planned due to the COVID-19 protocols. I would like to welcome you all to St Bede's, particularly our new parents. I hope your time at St Bede's will be a happy and fulfilling time for both you and your children. Over the next 50 minutes or so, we will hear from a number of speakers, myself included, which will give you an insight into St Bede's and our plans for 2021 and beyond. We will have another information session at the start of next year. We will commence our information session by our Aboriginal teacher, Mrs. Chapman, giving acknowledgement to people, and our Ministry Religious Studies Coordinator, Mrs. Bede, leading us in prayer.
Hello, or Anakanya as we like to say locally. My name's Karen Chapman. I'm the Aboriginal Education teacher here at St Bede's, looking after the academic and wellbeing needs of our growing number of Indigenous students. I'd like to give an acknowledgement of country. As we gather today, we acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land and the nearby surrounding areas, including the Wonnarua and Awabakal people who have walked on and cared for this land for thousands of years. I would like to pay my respects to their elders, past and present, and the elders from other communities of the surrounding areas. We acknowledge their descendants who maintain their spiritual connections and traditions. We celebrate their continuing culture and we acknowledge the memory of their ancestors. May we walk gently on their land.
And let us all come together now and pray together as a school community. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Loving Father, we praise you and give you thanks for the community we gather with this evening. We welcome all the families who join us here at St Bede's Catholic College, and we pray that their time with us may be fruitful, inspiring, and happy. We remember, Lord, that you help us to shine with the glory of Christ, to listen with compassion, to take a stand for justice, to always communicate with truth, to reach out in love. You teach us to live in community, to speak up with courage, to strive for knowledge, and to step out in faith. Lead us to grow in an awareness of your presence in our lives, and empower us to bring the good news of your love to all the students you have entrusted to us. And we make this prayer through Jesus, your Son. Amen. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
My presentation will cover 5 areas, namely the directions of the college, our key domains, an update on the building works, our revised student orientation program, and a new feature available on our website in which you can do a virtual tour from the comfort of your home. Being a new secondary high school, we have been given the opportunity to develop a unique school culture that is not held back by the traditions of yesteryear. As such, we want all students to have the best possible education. At St Bede's, we pride ourselves on the following: having a Catholic culture that is inclusive to students of all beliefs. Faith is a personal choice in which some students will and others will not believe in Jesus Christ. Irrespective of this choice, we do expect all students to try as hard in their religion lessons as their other subjects and to engage in class prayer, liturgies and social justice activities. Being a community in which all students are valued for who they are. Parents, carers, you are the partners in your child's education, and as such, we want you to be involved and hope that you will be supportive of the decisions that we make. Being a school of high standards. By having high standards, students will leave St Bede's with the best possible opportunity of becoming the type of person you want them to be, and to get into a career which will set them up for life. Offering a contemporary education which is interesting and fun, but will also give them the best opportunity to gain high learning results. If students are happy and engaged in their learning, the results will follow. Having an excellent reputation. Schools need to work hard to develop a good reputation, and in doing so, it enhances their prospects of gaining employment in the career of their choice. Reputation and high standards go hand in hand. At St Bede's, we watch students to develop resilience over time, because life is about overcoming disappointments and setbacks and moving forward. As parents, we need you to trust and support us in our decision making so students can develop this resilience. Our 2020-22 strategic plan is guiding us forward as we work towards where the college will be by the end of 2022 and indeed beyond. Our mission statement, which you can see on the screen, is a summary of what St Bede's is about. It is a summary of who we are and what we do. The vision statement is a summary of how we want students to leave St Bede's. The objectives within the 4 domains of Catholic formation, learning, leadership, and wellbeing and partnerships all have specific strategies that guide us in our decision making as we work towards achieving this mission and vision. Students are allocated into one of 4 house groups. These house groups often compete against each other, including at our swimming and athletics carnivals, as well as being involved in a variety of social justice and learning programs. Each of these houses have a story behind them, and they have a key value. These values, or what we call our pillars, are community, knowledge, courage and faith. These values, when they come together, defines us of who we are as a college. The stories behind these houses will be explained at another time and explained to students when they commence at St Bede's. We can see how these 4 pillars come together and are linked to our college motto of Shine in Christ's Glory, and to the wider diocesan motto of at the heart of everything is always Jesus Christ. St Bede's is expected to be fully built by 2023. When finished, we will have 4 large interconnected buildings with state-of-the-art facilities. The contemporary design of the buildings will provide students with the best opportunity to excel in their learning. The school is being built for the present and for the future, and as such we are not constrained by buildings that were built for the 19th or 20th century. The second building, which will be much bigger than our first building, is on track to be completed by May of next year. This will quickly be followed by the next 2 buildings and some basketball courts, an oval and lots of outdoor learning spaces. The air-conditioned demountables, which we call our flexible learning village, will disappear when the 4th and last building commences in a few years' time. In looking at this site map, you can see the 4 buildings labelled Block A, B, C and D. Block C is our current building. It's called the Benedict Building. This was opened in mid-2018. Block B is currently being built and will be called the Dominic Building. We expect this again to open in around about May of next year. Block A, to be called the Marion Building, is scheduled to be finished in 2022. Block D, to be called the Macaulay Building, is scheduled to be finished in 2023. The building of St Bede's can be divided up into 4 stages, which matches up with the 4 buildings. Stage 1, Block B, the Benedict Building and the Flexible Learning Village. So this is now completed, and there will be 4 additional demountables will be set up at the back of the Dominic Building, which is the building currently being built. Stage 2, this will include the Dominic building, as well as the next stage of the car park extension. The Peregrine Trail is that large yellow semicircle structure to the right of the photo. This will join the Benedict and Dominic building at 3 levels. It will be used for a variety of purposes, including breakout spaces for students. The 3rd and 4th buildings will also have a Peregrine Trail, which means that on a wet day students will never need to step outside. Stage 3 of the building project, which is due for completion in early 2022, will include the 3rd building, the Marion building. This building will include a TAS centre and classrooms for our senior students. There will also be the final extension of the car park. Stage 4 will include the 4th building, the Macaulay building, and is due for completion in early 2023. This building will include a large auditorium gymnasium and a performing arts centre. Included in this stage will be a full sports field, hard courts, bike storage areas, an amphitheatre and a student common area. And at some time in this building project, there will also be the building of a chapel that will be shared with St Aloysius. This chapel will be located between the 2 schools. With the growing enrolment demand, we will be increasing the number of Year 7 enrolments from 120 to 180 from next year. We currently have 120 students in Year 7 to 9, so increasing Year 7 enrolments to 180 is equivalent to a 50% increase in Year 7 enrolments. We will be capping these numbers at 180, so next year we can expect to have around about 540 students, which will increase to our maximum capacity of around about 1,000 to 1,100 around about 2025. With our increase in Year 7 enrolment numbers, I am happy to announce that our current Year 8 coordinator, Mr Eccleston, will be next year's Year 7 student coordinator. Mr Eccleston is our most experienced student coordinator and is highly regarded by staff, students and parents. We will hear from Mr Eccleston later in this presentation. Next year, we will also have a second assistant principal commencing at the college, who will join our current assistant principal, Mr Donoghue. Mrs Emma South, who is currently at St Clemente, has been appointed to this position. Both Mr Donoghue and Mrs South are outstanding leaders, and they will work closely with Mr Eccleston and myself in providing the best possible opportunities for your children. Despite the interruptions of COVID-19, which has meant that we cannot run our Students' Orientation Day next term, we will still be running a full Students' Orientation program. The first day of next year will now be pushed back one day for our Years 8, 9 and 10 students to allow Year 7 to have the school to themselves on their first day. The activities we had planned for Term 4 will take place on that day. This will be the first part of their Students' Orientation program, which will extend over the first 4 weeks of next year. The camp that we had planned early in the year will now be pushed back to late November, where hopefully the COVID-19 pandemic will be finished. Lastly, I encourage all parents and students to do a virtual tour of our school. Many of you did a tour at the start of the year at the information session, but most of your children have not yet done this tour because of the COVID-19 pandemic. By accessing the virtual tour function on our webpage, you can go from room to room as you would if you had a face-to-face tour. You will find this virtual tour function on our homepage under the About section. Doing a virtual tour of St Bede's with your children will be a great way of having a shared positive experience as they begin to get excited about their secondary education. I look forward to sharing the next 6+ years with you, and I thank you for entrusting us with the care of your children. Thank you.
St Bede's launched its Learning and Wellbeing Framework in 2018. The framework highlights wellbeing and learning are very much dependent on each other, and it preserves the learning and wellbeing culture that we've developed here and continue to develop here at St Bede's. Student achievement will only occur when students feel safe and supported and have a connection with their peers and with their staff. St Bede's has a zero tolerance to bullying and is a welcoming community built on positive relationships, quality teaching, learning and individual care. I encourage all parents who have not yet done so to visit the website to read our policy on anti-bullying and also our Learning and Wellbeing Framework. How's high school different? Well, we appreciate that students entering high school have reached a significant milestone in their educational journey. The next 4 to 6 years of their education, it's critical they develop sound study habits, resilience, ability to listen to feedback and reflect, and reliability in completing tasks. They all require a period of support as they transition from primary to secondary school. They move from one central teacher in one learning space or one classroom where they spend large amounts of time each school day to a great variety of teachers and a great variety of different learning spaces where they need to go to at the end of each learning lesson. They'll have more subjects and they begin to learn with practical-based components in their learning, such as experiments in science. They need to become more responsible and organised in their learning as they look ahead to the next day's subjects, bring their fully charged device to class, so much learning is done using a digital platform. They learn to interpret a timetable which shows their fortnightly scheduled lessons each day, their teachers and their learning spaces. Students in stage 4 can expect to receive up to an hour's work a day completing prep or homework, as each class they have may allocate up to 15 minutes of work time to complete. The school day begins at 8:45 each morning and finishes at 3:10. Students begin their day with their homeroom teacher in their homeroom class. Here the roll is marked and announcements are made for the day. There are 5 periods each day. A period is a session of learning for a given subject area in secondary school. Across year 7 and 8, stage 4 of students' learning, all students learn religious studies. The study of religion is compulsory for all students from kindergarten to year 12 in schools in the Maitland-Newcastle diocese. English, Hissi, mathematics, science and PDHP are also studied in both year 7 and 8. English and Hissi follow an integrated program where students are timetabled in clusters of up to 60 students and 2 to 3 teachers. This program has been very successful as it engages the students in cross-curricular learning, provides flexibility in providing targeted literacy intervention and differentiation to ensure that all students can access the curriculum. Students in mathematics learn by a unique individualised program called Mathematics Pathways. Mr Moroney, our mathematics coordinator, will give you details of this program later. Science students will learn with a balance of theory and practical components. In PDHPE, students will have an equal balance of theory and practical classes. Each week students will have 2 outdoor classes. They wear their sports uniform to school on these allocated days. Students learn technology mandatory in year 7 and 8 in semester courses. In semester 1, in year 7, students learn food technology. Semester 2, they learn robotics. In year 8, they then go on to learn coding in semester 1, followed by timber in semester 2. All these studies have both theory and practical components. Students undertake a 100-hour course in music in year 7. When they get to year 8, they then pick up the study of visual art and languages in Mandarin. All students in year 7 will have 1 allocated period each week in a class which we call Learn to Learn, where the teacher librarian will teach essential study and organisational skills, research skills and time management. So how do we learn at St Bede's? Well, at St Bede's we have a large focus on literacy and numeracy development of our students. We gather data early on our students so we understand each child's needs. The learning and tasks are differentiated for individual students who require additional support. This differentiation can come in the form of modified work or learning support assistance in the classroom. Targeted literacy and numeracy withdrawal programs are also on offer to students identified with needs. QuickSmart is an intensive numeracy program. MacLit is a targeted literacy program. Students will undertake cross-curricular projects involving 3 or more subject areas. These projects generally run for approximately 5 weeks. An example of such a project is one that the students are currently working on titled CSI Chisholm, where the students become forensic investigators, and for a 5-week block in maths, science and technology they develop their skills, 21st century skills in teamwork, problem solving, creative and critical thinking to try and discover who the murderer was. St Bede's is a bring your own specified device school. Mr Cornwall, our learning technology coordinator, will later discuss the specific device and the program process in procuring one. This device is critical to your child's learning. From the moment students begin school, they quickly learn the essential skills to become capable and responsible digital citizens. Learning technology is of immense benefit in supporting and enhancing student learning. All classes will use Compass, Microsoft Teams, OneNote, Office 365 to communicate and learn. In stage 4, there is less focus on formal assessment and more focus on regular formative assessment, which helps the teacher understand the progress of their students and how this might help them tailor their instruction. Regular feedback is given to the students to let them know where they are at with their learning and what they need to do to improve. It doesn't matter where each student is at with their learning, all students can learn to achieve. Every child has an entry point to the curriculum and every student can be challenged. It's for this reason we have high expectations of all our students. They need to come to school organised and prepared to learn. Year 7 students will have a transition day at the college on Friday the 29th of January. On this day we'll have all staff at the college and student leaders to support all Year 7 students. This will be an important day for them as they learn about the routines and answer any questions in a relaxed and welcoming environment. Some classes after this time will continue to have times where they will continue to receive information and support in setting up and familiarising themselves with their device. The homeroom is an important start to each day for our students. It is a time where they check in with their homeroom teacher, who becomes very important support and a point of contact for your child. Homeroom is a time for connections with peers and each child's house, as each homeroom is assigned to a house at the school. Students soon gain a strong sense of house spirit as they become involved in various house activities, cheering and competitions to gain valuable points for their house. All students will have an extended homeroom session each Wednesday. Fortnightly, the homeroom teacher will take them through a wellbeing program, which is designed to support their wellbeing and introduces students to mindfulness, self-image, coping with stress, cyber safety, just to name a few. The college also offers a range of other intervention programs to support students, such as Live Respect, Seasons for Growth, to support students who have experienced recent loss or significant changes in their lives. The Learning Hub is a place where all students can visit in their breaks to enjoy some peace and quiet, have quiet reading, play board games and relax. Ms Pentaleo, our teacher librarian, often engages the students in various activities such as readathons, competitions, chess competitions, just to name a few. As mentioned earlier, she also teaches the students important organisational skills and research skills in the Learn to Learn program. Various clubs are also on offer for students, such clubs we have in the past have included Minecraft and Homework Club and Makers Club. Students will have opportunities to participate in various co-curricular activities such as debating, chess competitions and inter-school sports. Students have sports from 1:10 to 3:10 p.m. each Friday afternoon. Stay at school non-paying options include walk, dance or boot camp. Paid options via bus to venues include gym, cricket, swimming, OzTag, tennis, just to name a few. Students have opportunities to be selected at diocesan representative sports, cross-country, athletics and swimming. Students can nominate to become a college leader in Term 3, where we currently have a committee structure. If successful following the selection process, students become a house leader for a 12-month period and also will be appointed to another portfolio of responsibility at the school, such as learning, wellbeing, social justice and stewardship. So who can your child see? Well, whilst we maintain high expectations in student behaviour, application to work and uniform and grooming, St Bede's staff also believe in fostering positive relationships with all students. It's important that every child has at least one positive connection amongst staff that they feel comfortable to approach. The college has many layers available for support for the students. And as mentioned earlier, we have the homeroom teacher, is their child's first point of contact for the day. The year coordinator, Mr Eccleston, will also be an advocate for every child in Year 7. He has already got to know much about each child before they arrive and will continue to get to know them. Every student has at least 8 teachers of their subjects Positive relationships connections will be forged with these teachers as they all take an active interest in your child's learning and development. Later you'll hear from Miss Butler and Miss Gloucester, our learning support coordinators. These ladies, together with their team of learning support assistants, English as additional language and dialect teachers, Aboriginal education teachers and workers, are doing a fantastic job supporting every student in their learning. They provide additional support for students in the classroom and work closely with parents to ensure they receive individualised support programs which address the specific needs for children who require individual support. The college also has a school psychologist, and students may self-refer to see him or at the request of the parents. His role is to support students who may be experiencing issues to do with anxiety, stress or mental health concerns. All meetings are confidential. The primary form of communication between parents and the college is through Compass. Compass is our student management information system. It is used by teachers to create chronicle entries for academic or behavioural concerns. Equally, it is useful to convey positive affirmations and merit awards for students' excellence in behaviour and application. Parents may use Compass to raise awareness of scheduled appointments or permissions for your child to be absent from school. It's also the avenue through which you may view your child's daily timetables, calendar events, assessment tasks and semester reports. A focus in our Term 1 2021 information session will be parents accessing the Compass Parent Portal. Where needed, teachers will also communicate via email or phone to parents when matters need to be addressed. Equally, parents may contact the office to request return contact by a specific teacher should they have any concerns, and teachers should return contact within a 24-hour period of your request. Parent forums are held by the college mid-term and each school term. These are attended by Mr Murphy and myself and our parent representatives. All parents are warmly welcome and encouraged to attend these forums. It's an occasion where we run a formal agenda and convey key information updates on what is occurring within the college. Parent-teacher-student interviews are also held at the end of each semester, and an important time for parents and students to formally meet their child's teachers to discuss their progress in learning. And finally, in closing, I strongly encourage parents and carers to familiarise themselves with key policies and procedures in this at the college before they arrive here. These can be found on the college website. Visit the About icon at the top of the screen to go to the policies. Policies I suggest that you read include the anti-bullying policy, complaints and grievances policy, pastoral care, student behaviour management procedures, the uniform and grooming policy. Additionally, we also encourage you to download a copy of the Parent Handbook and the Student Handbook, which can be found in the Parent Information section of the website. Thank you.
My name is Michael Eggleston and I have the privilege of being the Year Coordinator for Year 7 2021. I'm a PE and religion teacher with 15 years experience as a student coordinator. The role of student coordinator is one I take seriously because I see myself as directly responsible for the health and happiness of our young people. My goal for the start of 2021 is to develop positive relationships within our Year 7 group because positive relationships are the greatest indicator of happiness in our lives. A happy and healthy student is the best chance of developing as a successful learner. And while we have many of our students coming from our Catholic feeder schools with established friendship groups, we are also aware that we have many students from smaller schools in the area and also outside of the area that will need to settle into the St Bede's way of life. It will be my priority to make these students settle into the way of life here at school to help them become a more established student who is happier and healthier here. The student who attends St Bede's can expect from myself someone who is responsible for the health and happiness of our year group. I'll make it my priority to support the Year 7 student learning and well-being and develop a positive school culture. Lastly, I'd like to say that I like to have fun and I want my students to have fun while they're here at school at St Bede's.
Alright, Lily, what have our new Year 7 students got to look forward to?
They've got the new buildings and the new school and the new equipment to look forward to. Everything's going to be new and it's going up and it's really exciting. They've got the camp to look forward to, and that's a really great way to make friends and to bond and having fun and being part of a wonderful community at St Bede's.
Fantastic, thank you. And your second question, what is the best thing about St Bede's?
The best thing about St Bede's for me is being part of the community and the sport that we can have. I feel that we can all engage in it and have fun in our own ways.
Thank you very much.
You're
McKenna,
What have our new Year 7 students got to look forward to?
Definitely the subjects and the wide range of things we can do on them. I like the launch days because we get to have so many activities with friends and it's really fun. I like the freedom to learn in our classes because we get to bond with friends and it's more fun to learn.
Great, thank you. And what is one piece of advice that you have for our Year 7 students next year?
Just to make sure you have fun and enjoy your time here because you only get one shot. And and listen to your classrooms, where your classrooms are, because I got lost.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Violet, what has been a challenge for you starting at St. Bede's and how did you overcome it?
I found the challenge for me was the transition from primary school to high school, as it was very different and I wouldn't necessarily say it was harder, but it was just different. But I found it was easier to make friends and that made it a lot easier.
Violet, what is the best thing about St. Bede's?
The best thing for me about St. Bede's is the bond and relationship I have between teachers and students.
Alright, Emerson, what has been a challenge for you starting at St. Bede's and how did you overcome it?
Well, in primary school you have one teacher, one classroom and you don't really move. But in high school you have multiple classrooms, multiple teachers and you move around every hour. So that was a real struggle to try and figure out where I was going and who was the right teacher, but I learnt my timetable and I had the piece of paper in my pocket at all times, so I just overcame that by just memorising it and it became really easy.
Very good. And what's one piece of advice you have for our Year 7 students next year?
Don't worry, high school's really fun. People say that you've got tons of homework and tons of assignments and sometimes you do, but you overcome them. Your teachers prep them for you and they help you. It's not like you're on your own. You have your friends, you have your peers and you have your teachers. They're always helping you, so just don't worry, it'll be fun.
Okay, thank you. Welcome, support hub. Come on in.
What we want to do is basically show you around in terms of the different things and strategies that we've got for our students here at St. Bede's. If you take ourselves over to this corner, we have here things like our pod, which is a place where kids can actually go and take 5 and reset. We have a weighted blanket as well at their disposal. Coming around the room, you can see that we have many strategies laid out on the table. We sort of have a lot of sensory toys or sensory items like Play-Doh. We have a lot of books. Mindfulness and wellbeing is something that we take quite seriously here at St. Bede's. We like to do a lot of mindful colouring and we offer students many opportunities to sort of sit and reset.
One of the other things we offer, as we mentioned earlier, is the assessment support at break time and also as required. So we have our assessment wall, which will obviously grow next year, but we have all of our assessments coming up so that we can provide that support to students requiring it.
Over on this table over here, you can see that we actually keep our sensory toys, and students will come up and ask us if they think they might need one through a particular lesson, and these are a discreet way for them to sort of maintain their own focus. We've had some beautiful wooden rocks carved for us, which is another strategy that the students love. Other bits and pieces that they can actually try and utilise in their time with us here.
Hello, I'm Amy Butler and this is Susie Goster. We are the Learning Support Coordinators at St. Bede's Catholic College. We just wanted to talk to you today about what we offer in terms of learning support at St. Bede's, and then we're going to give you a tour of our Learning Support Hub today. So the goal of learning support at St. Bede's is to ensure that children with diagnosed disabilities and learning difficulties are supported but also included and given a quality education. So we work on the model of inclusion. Students are in the mainstream classes, but we also provide some intervention support as required. So some of our intervention support groups that we currently run, we do one-on-one support for some students that require intensive literacy intervention, and we offer assessment support. Yeah, so we do that at break time, but also as required. Yeah. Some of the other ways we support students is with our learning support assistants in the classroom. We support students on personalised plans, so those with diagnosed disabilities, to help them set goals and achieve their goals in consultation with their parents. So I guess one of the big things that one of the most important things for us is communication with families and collaboration. Yeah, so making sure we all work together to ensure that the students are supported.
Hello, I'm Michelle Burgess and I'm the music teacher at St Bede's. I also look after gifted education, so I'm the gifted education mentor here. And in 2021, I'll also be the creative and performing arts leader of learning. So I'll be talking to you in this video about what gifted education looks like at St Bede's and what our college can offer your child in the performing arts. So what does gifted education look like? Well, it can look very much like learning support in a way that a student identified with a particular gift requires support and quality learning opportunities that could potentially develop over time their gift into a talent. So how can we identify the potentially gifted child? This is conducted through the collection of various data. So the various data we collect includes different forms of testing. So it could also include teacher and student feedback, as well as, most importantly, parent feedback. It also includes general observation, and finally, we develop a personal profile of this gifted child that can really clarify how they like to learn. So how does St Bede's support a potentially gifted child? Well, there are many ways. So some things that we do here to support a gifted child is that we can accelerate or provide enrichment opportunities in various KLA. And this enrichment opportunities always means instead of, not more of. Your child can also be nominated and accepted into the Virtual Academy, which is a diocesan initiative that really brings like-minded children together to work in a virtual platform. We also offer a lot of cross-curricular tasks here at St Bede's across all stages. Some ones we have running in particular at the moment are integrated into our curriculum are called CSI Chisholm, and this is a really great task where Year 7 students get to make really fine connections between mathematics, science and TAS subjects. We also have introduced a program, a personalised learning program, which allows staff to mentor our gifted students, to really challenge the students and to build on their strengths and to recognise their gifts. And also we look at specialised project work. So for instance, a student who was involved in the Virtual Academy wanted to continue on his work with what he developed as the Hyperloop project. And that was involved a group of young scientists and engineers who developed this Hyperloop project and worked together. It's always important to have a vision, and the future for St Bede's with gifted education is quite simple. We're going to continue to support and recognise a student and their giftedness. We're going to look for possible accelerated classes in selected KLA. We're also considering the development of a mathematics enrichment program with our GEL schools, which includes St Aloysius and Our Lady of Lourdes Taro, where age will not define a student's learning. And most importantly, continued collection of data of student learning. The performing arts at St Bede's was up and running day one in our foundation year. In fact, it had to be. We needed music for our very first school mass, and we performed on stage at Dire Sounds, and the list just goes on. Over the last 3 years, our students have showed such passion and dedication towards this aspect of their school life, even when times have been tough. As you can see from the list of opportunities, our students have multiple opportunities to not only at a college level, but at a diocesan level, to improve their skills, engage in rewarding experiences, and to work with others who are like-minded. Our peripatetic program has continued to grow with over 50 students taking private instrumental lessons at school, and over a dozen of these students sitting for their external examinations. This year, as you are aware, COVID restrictions have forced students into a remote learning setting. During this time, our students have continued with their music education via Zoom and have now recommenced face-to-face instrumental lessons back on our college campus. Our performing arts program will always be busy. However, the performing arts faculty envisage other disciplines in our college's future. As our community grows, we look to introduce opportunities for your child to be involved in musical productions, dramatic plays, dance ensembles, drama ensembles, visual arts competitions, jazz bands, stage bands, and I'm always really looking forward to introducing an all-male vocal ensemble at St Bede's. I'd like to thank you for your time, and I look forward to meeting everybody next year at our first orientation day. Should you have any further questions, please do not hesitate to contact me through our school email. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Andrew Cornwall. I'm the HISI and Digital Innovation and Learning Technology Coordinator here at St Bede's Catholic College. My role is to support staff and students in their use of technology.
And I'm Xander, a Year 9 school leader, technology leader, and part of the device investigation team for this year's device program at St Bede's.
Over the next couple of minutes, Xander and I will explain the device program that we use here at St Bede's, the key features of the Year 7 device that we'll be using, as well as how parents can go about ordering their device for 2021. So as many families would be aware, here at St Bede's we use what's called a specified device. This program, called BYOSD, or Bring Your Own Specified Device, is where the school selects a device and a supplier and invites parents to make a purchase through their supplier. This is similar to the way in which the school sources and then recommends uniform suppliers. The Specified Device program was implemented after extensive research into the different models of student devices that are around. The key advantages of the BYOSD program are primarily equity for all learners. That is, everyone has the same access to technology in every classroom in the school. We have consistent hardware and software which teachers and students can rely on. This was something that was very handy during the recent COVID pandemic. Minimal classroom disruptions occur as students and staff can often troubleshoot small problems, and support can be provided within the classroom. We get access to business grade devices like the one I'll showcase in a minute that aren't usually available in the retail space. Generally the pricing is discounted because of the volume, but mostly it's about the support we're able to provide. By selecting a single device, our IT support can provide support to those devices, and when it is coupled with a comprehensive 3-year next business day warranty and accidental damage cover, we're pretty confident that these devices can be kept on the road every day for learning for all students. The device program is split into 2 parts. A junior device is purchased in Year 7 for use in Year 7 to 9, and a senior device is purchased in Year 8 for the use of Year 11 and 12. Earlier this year, we formed a device investigation team which involved parents, students and staff and reviewed the offerings from a range of manufacturers including Dell, HP and Lenovo.
It was lots of fun and we got to try lots of devices.
We eventually settled on this device, the Lenovo Yoga 11E Generation 6. It's a robust 2-in-1 device, very similar in size and style to our current Dell device that we've been using for the last couple of years. However, there were some key advantages to the Lenovo. I'll let Xander explain some of them.
The Lenovo 11E has an improved and stronger chassis and gives the appearance of being less likely to have the hinge fail, which was a problem with some of our Dells. It also has a garage stylus, which means that the stylus pen is stored inside the laptop and is charged while inside.
You keep reading.
It has a garage stylus, which means that the stylus pen is stored inside the laptop and is charged whilst inside. This solves another big problem, loss of missing styluses. The device is also a lot faster than our current devices. Instead of a Celeron processor, this is using an Intel Core M3, which is a big step up in performance.
And yes, as we use increasingly complex software at the school like Photoshop and Adobe Premiere, that'll be handy.
It also has a bigger battery than the Dell, so for students like me who use a lot of technology, that will be a massive help.
And it has USB-C charging, which has 3 advantages. It uses a rapid charging technology, meaning it's very quick to charge when low. We can use portable battery packs with enough wattage to top up the battery from time to time. And we get one standard charger for all the staff and students, which simplifies that process. As well, USB-C can be used for lots of other cool things.
Yep, and it still has 8 gigabytes of RAM and 256 gigabyte SSD, which is double our previous device, and all the other features you'd expect like Bluetooth, dual cameras, etc.
And it also comes with 3 years on-site Premier support, accidental damage and battery life like we said.
And you were able to keep it pretty close to the previous pricing for the Dell, despite COVID, right?
Sure was. The total cost for this device is $1,341, just a touch more than last year's Dell, which is pretty reasonable given the step up in performances.
Well, I'll leave it to you to talk more about the purchasing process with parents.
Thanks, Xander. So first of all, I'll explain the timeline for this year. This is a bit different due to COVID. The portal is opened early for parents and is accessible right now. To ensure that we can issue devices to students for the start of next year academic year, we need to have all the orders placed by the 28th of October. This will allow our partner, Next Technologies, the 8 to 12 weeks that they need to place the orders with Lenovo and get them to us at the school and for Mr. Berg to be able to set them up. It's a little bit longer than normal. Part of that's the COVID delay and part of it's the Christmas period. However, payment won't be needed until about the 16th of December, so you have some time to organise payments. So how do you make an order? So this is our step-by-step on how to place an order. So up here is the URL that will be sent out to families during the mail out of information to do with the purchasing process. So you'll just need to click on the link and it'll take you to this website. And along with the URL will be a password. So at the front of our portal, we've just got general information about the dates. For Year 7 parents, the closing of the portal for on-time orders on October 28th. And then the payment needs to be made by the 16th of December, which we've already explained. The password's included in that mail out. It's SBC 2021, and that's generic for all families because our details are put in the checkout space. Now there's lots of information on this website. I won't go through it right at the moment. We have information about payment and finance. There are broadly three ways to pay. There is direct payment through EFT, Visa and MasterCard. There is finance through Sky Finance, and there is a third option, a zero interest loan for those affected by COVID or financial hardship, and there's information under this tab around that. There's also the fine print around warranty and insurance and privacy terms and agreements of this portal. They're also there for parents if they want to walk through that information. For the moment, I'm just going to focus on the actual purchasing process. So here we have three options. We have approved devices for Year 7 and approved options. If I click on approved devices for Year 7, it will take me through to the Year 7 portal where there is only just one device, the device that we've spoken about. There's more details there about specifications, but the process of purchasing is simply clicking select or add and then clicking add selected to basket. At this point, we'll take you back to your basket. You can at this point either place the order or go back to the main price list. If I click back to the main price list, there is another option for Year 7 parents around a sleeve. We do strongly recommend a sleeve for all students, acknowledging the fact that some parents and students have sleeves already. They might want to continue to use, or they might want to find their own personal sleeve, or leaving it as an optional product at this point. This is a good quality sleeve though, and it's priced at $23. If I want this, again, same deal, select or add selected to basket. Once I get to my basket and I'm happy with the order, it's simply an act of pressing place order. This will take me through to firstly confirming the shipping process. There is only one option, ship to school. So I just click next at this point. And then from this, I actually start entering details. So these are really important that we get these right. Student name, please use the full student name, first and last. Name to appear on invoice is likely to be a parent name, but again, make sure it's first and last name. But more important than both of those is ensuring we've got a correct email address for the invoice. Now the invoice will actually go out to all orders, irrespective of whether payment is made or not. For those that payment hasn't been made, it will also include a process on how to actually make that payment at a later stage. You can add a data and phone number just for them to contact you if there's any concerns. And at this point, click next and it will finalise that purchase for you. Like I said, you don't have to make payment. The payment options open until the 16th of December for on-time orders. If you've got any questions around the actual use of this portal, please contact Greg. He's our contact and there's his phone number. Or in general, if you have any queries, please contact Next Technology on their general phone number, or you can reach out to me at the school, either on the school phone number or this email address. Thank you. Bye. If you have any questions about the device program, I'll be running a Q&A session on Wednesday the 14th of October at 6:30 p.m. You can register using the link that will be emailed out with you just after this video. It will also be available in this PowerPoint. In any time, if you've got any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me on the email address provided. Thank you for your support during this period.
Mathematics classrooms around Australia typically have a number of things in common. They usually have around 20 to 30 students and one teacher who lectures from the front of the room. Students are seated in rows and everyone follows a set sequence of learning, with every student completing work on the same content at the same pace. There is also up to an 8-year difference in mathematical ability in a typical Year 7 math class. This huge range in ability makes it incredibly difficult for the teacher to address each child's needs, with the traditional model of explaining the same concept to the whole class being ineffective. Students who are struggling fall further behind, and the more capable students are not challenged or extended. On average, students in Australia learn only 60% of what is expected over 1 year of schooling. Add to this a decline in the number of students choosing maths in senior high school, and a stagnation in the results on our international tests, and it is clear that the traditional method of teaching maths is not meeting our needs. At St Bede's, we strive to provide a more individualised program of learning for our students, and as such, we have implemented the Maths Pathway program. So what does this look like in our classrooms? Each student is initially assessed to see where they currently lie on a continuum of learning for each of the key strands in maths. Students then complete work that is at their level with the aim of achieving at least 1 year's worth of growth per year. The program changes the way we operate in the maths classroom and provides a truly differentiated curriculum. Each fortnight, students will complete different modules to each other and complete an individualised test on their knowledge. They cannot move on to the new modules until they have mastered the previous content. Learning consists of a mix of independent work, peer collaboration, small group targeted mini lessons, and whole class rich learning tasks. These rich learning tasks are designed to be engaging, open-ended, develop critical thinking, and generate a love for maths. At the end of each cycle, students complete a test and then meet one-to-one with their teacher to discuss their progress and set a goal for the next cycle. The main measures of a student's progress are their growth, effort and accuracy, and parents are able to view this data online in real time. This program has been very successful at St Bede's, with students being more engaged in their learning and achieving greater success in maths. The average rate of growth for our students is around 125%, meaning that students are mastering well in excess of 1 year's worth of maths each year. More information on the Maths Pathway program will be provided to students and parents in Term 1 next year.
Welcome to St Bede's today's uniform show of 4 students. First up is Tyler. Tyler is 173 centimetres tall. He's wearing a size 16 shirt and his shorts are a size 82. Thank you, Tyler. Next up we have Asta. Asta is 153 centimetres tall. Her shirt is size 12 and her skirt is a size 10. Thank you, Asta. Next up we have Maddie. Maddie is 168 centimetres tall. She's wearing a size 16 shirt and her skirt is a size 12. Thanks, Maddie. And next up we have Abby. Abby is 148 centimetres tall. He's wearing a size 10 shirt and his shorts are a size 62. Thanks, Abby. Tyler is wearing a size medium polo shirt and his shorts are also a size medium. Thanks, Tyler. Asta is wearing a polo shirt extra small and her shorts are a 2x extra small. Thanks, Asta. Maddie Maddie's wearing an extra small polo shirt and her shorts are a size small. Thanks, Maddie. Abby is wearing a polo shirt which is 3 by extra small and his shorts are a 2 by extra small. Thanks, Abby. Tyler is wearing a jumper which is a size 16. Asta is wearing a spray jacket which is an extra small. Maddie is wearing a medium jacket and Addie is wearing a 3 by extra small. School backpacks are $85 each and are a compulsory item for every student. School socks are worn with formal uniform and also the sports uniform. They come in a 3-pack and are in your child's shoe size.
Dose.
That's when you just a sort of shot of all of them together.